This is Car Jawn, podcast powered by Collects and Car Dealer Pro. I'm David. He's Ted, the co-owner, CEO of Collects. And our guest today is from Santiago Sports 2. He's the owner. His name is Brad Kwinter. Brad, welcome to Car Jawn.
Thank you for
having
having
me.
me.
know what Jawn means. So this is special for you.
Past year and a half, I learned some of the lingo.
Define Jawn for our audience who may not know.
And I hope you know.
Oh, no!
No. It's like so hard to explain because it's just like anything, right? So it's like,
person, place, or thing.
yo, can you grab me that Jawn? Like, and it's just like, you should know what I'm talking about at that moment. So.
These are Jawns.
Right.
But a Philadelphia thing.
Yeah, it's totally.
Thing.
There's so much to learn. Moved to South Jersey. I grew up an hour and a half away, and since I'm here for like 2 years, I learned like 10 new things that I never heard of in my life.
We recently did like a how Philly are you trivia question for let's just say a professional sports athlete. And this was one of the questions. And we were like, is it a Philadelphia pretzel, a Philadelphia cheesesteak, or a Philadelphia musician, or all of the above?
Didn't know.
You got it wrong.
So speaking of Jawn, how did your shop, Santiago Sports 2, and your previous company, how did you get started in the hobby? How long have you been collecting? What's your social security? I'm just kidding. What's your background?
Just kidding. So just like everybody else's story, collected as a kid, grew up collecting with my dad and, take me to the store and we'd open up product and have all that kind of stuff. Fell off for a couple of years. And then like right before like the major boom, I would say like a year or two before that, I was like in like a Walmart or a Target and I bought some like prism packs and some stuff and fell back into it and kind of just honestly got into it at the right time because got into it right before they cut off allocation, got into it right before the major spark in the entire market with COVID and all that kind of stuff happening. But because of COVID also, I had a warehouse space that I converted into an office, a retail store, in Sayreville, New Jersey. And just hit the ground running with that. I mean, we got in with Southern Hobby, a couple of different, distributors and direct accounts. And now I'm here 4 years later, owning my second location. So.
And you expanded Santiago Sports 2. You moved down walls, knocked down walls, I should say.
Oh, yeah. When we first had it, it was like this old coffee store shop that had like a little counter when you walked in. I would say it was honestly maybe like 300 square feet, right? Like wall to wall.
Very
like
small.
Super
it was
small. It was cool
vibe
vibe because you had like the bar and you had like TVs and you had the wax, and the old wax always looked super full. Now it looks like we're really empty with wax, like because it's so much open space. We went from like literally 300 square feet to like 1,000 square feet. All completely open.
It's awesome. So what's it like being a card shop owner in 2023, even with the pandemic too, what are you going through now with allocation? How does that work for you?
It's totally different than what it was, right? So it used to be like, you get a product for $1 and you sell it for $100. It was like easy to make money. Now you got to be a little bit more creative. You got to be a little more selective. You got to move product faster. You got to hold it longer. That's not like what it was. Distribution, like allocation, has definitely changed significantly. A lot of these companies are now allocating a lot less of product and then holding it so that they could sell it on a secondary market and make more money. So it's hard for us. And then we don't want to overcharge our customers. We're trying to keep it fair for them. So the wax is a little bit of a struggle, but I mean, we're constantly, repurchasing stuff, trying to keep it in line with the major online retailers, trying to keep it fair prices for everybody. The buying is still really good. A lot of people are scared to get rid of their product, their individual cards. They feel like if they hold it longer, it may come back. But I'm trying to educate people that like you take your bad money and you move it into something good. Mm-hmm. So that's been the positive side of owning a store. So like a lot of the purchases and things that walk through the door.
What's a quick breakdown? Like, so in the store, about what percentage is wax versus singles versus like merch supplies?
I mean, supplies make up a really small portion. We're constantly refilling it, so it's easy to get. It's not like wax that needs to be allocated and it's hard to get stuff and the price changes. Wax probably makes up about 40% of our store, and I'd say like 60%, not including supplies, right? Would all be like singles.
40% of like revenue or profits, or what?
No, just like inventory, right? So what we have in stock at any given time, and that's a mixture between like blasters, hobby boxes, packs, and stuff like that.
And every time I've actually gone to your store the last probably 2-3 weeks, maybe a month more, you have less stuff because you're getting bought out. So I want to bring up we went to the Philly show recently, and I was there for an hour, and your table was bought out in an hour or two, your entire table. How does that work? You don't get the financial details, but like, how does something like that go down? Someone just comes to your table and say, "Hey, I want everything." Let's talk.
This is like the third time I've done something like that. Sorry. It's actually really difficult because you kind of like have to kind of wing it a little bit on top of just like comping things. It's impossible. If you're selling like 1,000 cards in like an hour, 2 hours, you're not going to sit there going through every single card. You pretty much have to eye a lot of things and figure out like weigh the market and kind of see if like it makes sense or if it doesn't. We were at a point where we had a lot of like stale product, I would say. Like our store is big enough, but small, but big enough where we have a lot of inventory that has been there for quite a while. So for us, it was easy just to kind of like let it go, use that money and to put it into newer products so our customers have an option for newer stuff. You know, fresh products on the rise. We did this with a trusted buyer. So it's somebody that we've done like multiple deals with. They're great guys. They don't take advantage. If there's any errors or mistakes, we can figure it out down the line. It's not like one of those one and done deals and we'll never see them again. And if they take advantage of us, it's over. I would never recommend selling your entire inventory like that if it was new. Mm-hmm. Like we don't do that with anything new. That's all like kind of older stuff that just, these guys are from Florida. So now you're getting a different territory of people that maybe will buy the stuff that we couldn't move.
So when that happens though, are you going straight to like your 10, 15 most high-end cards? Like, okay, we got to get 85% for this. And then like everything else could be, or more than 85%.
Yeah. I mean, when you're doing a deal that big, I mean, your percentages go significantly lower. Like we buy in our store, like let's just say 70%. When you're doing a big deal like that, you could be at like 40, 50%. Because a lot of it was like cheap stuff, like dollar bin stuff, $5, $10. That stuff, you just got to let it go, repurchase it, and just refill your shelves.
Now, does that person who purchased your entire table already have someone in line, or just wants it for his or her shop?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't think they have a store. I know they do a lot of shows. They travel. They buy out a lot of people. I'm not the only person they do this to.
Really?
Yeah. These two guys, great guys. They literally go to like
the card mafia
shows. Yeah. They go to different shows and they're constantly buying full collections. I think they flip the collection too. If they know they're into a collection for $100 and they could sell it to the next guy down the road in an hour for 120, that's 20%, right? So they're happy with that. I don't know if they piece some stuff out. They probably keep some of the bigger stuff, set it up at their other shows that they do.
What happened after that? After you sold the whole table, like, did you have like replacement? Do you have other cars?
So
buy more.
We had one of our employees, Thomas, come to the show on Saturday. This happened on Friday. It was a 3-day show. He came to the store early in the morning on Saturday. We loaded him up on everything else from our store, came back and reset up with like all the newer stuff. And then we also went out and we started buying some stuff too. And we spent a ton of money at that show as well. So it's fun. It's always fun.
What advice do you have if someone wants to sell their collection to you? Obviously, you're getting bought out, but what advice would you have for someone that has their grandparents, Yankees cards, Phillies cards, or Pokemon cards? How do they go up to a store like you to sell it?
First thing I would do is definitely get educated, right? So don't walk into a store not knowing what you have. So many times people come in and like you can get taken advantage of by the wrong store. There are stores out there that are greedy and they try to take advantage of you, right? So we're not that store. We're pretty transparent. And so what we would recommend is go through your collection, pick out the bigger names, the all-stars, the veterans, these guys that are like numbered parallels or autographs or things that just stand out. Just do a really simple eBay search and just look up sold listings and stuff like that. It's the safest way to do it. Clearly, you can, or that's the hardest. Or that's the hardest way. I do apologize. You can just take a picture on Collects and it comes up the price pretty easy.
You pay Brad to say that.
Fix it in post.
But what has been any cool success stories of like someone coming in with a mantle? I mean, one day I was in there. I ironically was looking for a Julius Erving rookie card, and
that guy walked in with collection.
And he bought it for him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That guy had just a really simple Julius Erving collection. We went through the pricing with him. We came up to a fair number of what we thought it was worth, and we just said this is the percentages that we were paying, and that's how it worked. Yeah. There are some things that do walk through the door. I mean, we had this one woman that came in with her mother's collection, and she must have came in like 3 different times with so much stuff. And like it was just too much that you can't sit there and price everything out. A similar scenario, like what happened to me when we got bought out. Mm-hmm. But we came up with a fair number. She was really happy, so happy that we stay in touch. if we found anything that was like super expensive, we would take care of her on it and give her like additional money. I mean, we found like PMG. We found like some crazy cool stuff, like all like from like the early 90s, like stuff that everybody wants.
I think, and I don't know if you agree, Ted, with this too, like everyone thinks now that sports cards and trading cards are huge, they have the next, like they have $100,000 or $1,000, $1,200 worth of stuff, where in reality it's probably like $120. So I think with the popularity of growing of sports cards, I think people get the wrong idea. Like, oh, I have that. I have that T206 Wagner, but it's a reprint.
Or people have like, I have a Ricky Henderson rookie card, PSA 10, easily. It's in the best shape ever. It's got to be at least a $30,000 card, but a PSA 9 is like $100.
Yeah,
it's like,
right,
it's not $100. I
know what you mean. Yeah.
But like everyone thinks that they have, oh, my card's mint, pack fresh. There's issues with every card.
Yeah. I remember that Ricky Henderson experience with Charlie. Like when we first, that was like one of the very first cards we ever like, went through this whole exercise.
It's a great card. It's a tough 10.
Around the same time that we were doing that, like there was Rally, I think, had a PSA 10 Ricky Henderson. They were like selling shares of it for like 200. They valued it at $250,000.
Oh yeah,
which I mean, this is like a year or two ago, and I don't think it's anywhere like that.
The last PSA 10 I think actually sold on Golden. I think it sold for around 30 to 40,000.
Right.
But I don't know if you saw like one of those auction houses. I don't
Heritage?
know if it was Heritage. It was Heritage. They went to some guy's house who like years ago in the 80s lied to Topps and like said he was a store and wound up getting allocation.
Really?
Like 300,000 cases of unopened factory sets of 1980 base. So the guy literally had, I think it was a total number of 530 Ricky Henderson rookie cards, all never opened out of the factory boxes, the vending boxes or whatever. You take all those cards, you get them graded. I mean, you're due to get at least a couple of 10s, out of 530.
That's crazy.
Well, let's you have some wax there. Let's open up the top one. It's the cheapest one.
You want to?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
We'll just open them. We'll open them up, like not near the mic, and then we'll just. It's kind of like drinking a cocktail during a podcast, but we're opening cards.
Yeah, can we rip and talk?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then we might find.
We don't have an overhead camera here to.
Well, I have my camera here, so we can all.
Oh, I see.
We can all just
that's
rip
our
a couple
breaking
packs.
camera.
I guess so.
This is an inexpensive product, right? It's super fun for kids.
Explain what it is what we're opening.
I don't really know.
Topps Big League.
What it is. It's Topps Big League Baseball. So to me, it was like more like, an inexpensive product for kids to get into at a cheaper price point. It's $50 a box. You probably can get it around there, more or less. It's kind of like an opening day type baseball.
Yeah, I actually bought a few packs from your store, I believe, and I got one of the redemptions to get my own card featured.
Oh, that's amazing!
I entered my name into next year to be in that set next.
Oh wow! So you
got a redemption to put yourself in the.
It was like a contest, like you.
So like a fan card,
it's like you enter to be on a next year's card.
That's cool. I know that they.
If you're seeing this, I might be.
They did put in here though, like there's like five.
That's hot. I didn't know that story.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
What is it? There's 5 different like social media.
Yeah, you have
influencers.
Slapstock, Mama Breaks, Stephanie. You have Jeff Wilson. Ryan, Card Collector.
Did you say Slapstrong?
Oh, Slapstrong, Tim. Yeah.
And then there's also the redemption.
Can't forget Tim.
Tim must post about that once a day.
What is it like? You could get like an actual athlete like a Mike Trout to follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, they're going for crazy money.
Right,
I saw the Vlad Guerrero or Trout one went for like $4 grand.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Just to follow you on Instagram?
Yeah. So we'll just open these up.
Okay.
Doug, our producer, won't. I think.
Hopefully, we're not going to screw up the audio here.
I think it'll be
Doug,
okay.
You want to open one?
Here, Doug, behind the scenes. And apparently the inserts of the the influencers are hard to find, so that's why.
Oh, you know who actually pulled something huge from this?
Who?
You guys know Frank from Brotherly Love? Brotherly Love Card Show.
Oh yeah, before
he opened one of our first boxes and pulled like a Fernando Tatis 101 autograph redemption.
I did see that.
Wow.
I did see that.
So cool.
So anyone get anything good?
I got a Bobby Wood Jr. It's not a rookie though, right?
There's no autos in this, is there? Just trash.
No, well, he pulled an auto.
That's right. Sorry.
Was this what you were just talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you just filled it out.
Yeah. You're gonna fill it out?
Yeah.
You should.
Show the middle camera if you can. We'll zoom in on it.
Are they in like every pack?
Yeah, do that one. I don't think so. So you now have a chance to be a big leaguer. There you go.
So I gotta get one.
You got an auto?
I got a gold auto
Of who?
Gleyber
Torres
Torres.
from the Yankees. No?
Yeah.
I
he
mean,
died down a little bit.
totally.
Is it gold?
That's
It's
pretty cool.
That's a pretty good hit.
There's no guaranteed auto in these boxes.
That's cool.
That's
What's your
amazing.
thoughts? This is kind of, I'm glad we're opening this because it's an off the cuff podcast on Jawn on sticker autos. Ted, yes or no?
No, of course.
Hard pass.
Well, look, I think just to get the product
That's fine.
out. Anything good?
But this is a sticker. Tops.
I mean,
but look, they have like a little they have some stuff in here.
to get any.
I have it on pretty good authority. Tops is going to be putting a lot more like protective features for this stuff. I don't know if they're going to do it with the stickers or whatnot, but like
You have some ASMR for people listening.
Right.
I think sticker autos are good to get out.
Did you bring top loaders and stuff to protect you?
No, I didn't think you'd hit an autograph.
Brad, I'm curious. How often do you get the itch to like actually just break in yourself
So,
personally?
I used to literally rip everything.
Like, what's your favorite product?
Like
to rip?
everything.
Like every year it comes out, you got to rip it.
I
What
like
is that?
Prism's awesome.
Anything Prism?
But just like Prism lately, like the variations in every single pack have been kind of like disappointing. So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to get like certain things.
This is actually a cool set.
Yeah.
Anyone
they're
get any
they're
influencer yet?
fun-
I
they're
like this. I
fun
like
cards.
this illustrated
Cool.
one.
I didn't get any influencers.
So going back to your autographs,
I think those are
sticker
pretty good.
autographs.
Yes.
I do believe that they're beneficial, so that like the players don't have to sit there signing every single card. You can get a lot more autos out there.
Mhm.
But I think certain product, like anything numbered like 10 or less or 25 and less, should be an on-card auto.
Do you think every auto grade should be a 10? Because I think there's some autos that I've seen.
Well, I believe that if it's a sticker auto and the
has to be a
auto
10.
is coming off of the sticker,
Got
that
it.
should affect the grade.
But I've seen
That's the
some
biggest issue.
autos that are like there's I forget who the player is. I think he's on the Angels in 2023 Bowman, where like he signs a bottom left hand corner. Have you seen that auto? It's literally like a circle. I forget who it is, but it's a terrible auto.
It's
but
awful.
like it's literally just like not off center. So like to me like that should be a auto grade of like a 7.
Right.
Brad, do you guys do breaks in the store? Like,
Yeah,
do you?
Julio. So we did offer a lot of breaks just for like our customers rather than like, promoting on Instagram and stuff like that. We took a little bit of a step away just because it's not exactly the way that we're moving toward that direction of doing breaks.
Mhm.
We're just trying to get like inventory and,
I got more.
all of a better grasp of everything that we got going on. But eventually we'll break more.
Yeah.
Once like the Fanatics Live comes out or eBay or anything
Sure.
like that, we're going to want to be involved.
Collects Marketplace. You can list your cards on.
Totally. Well,
Yeah.
breaking, I'm just.
I don't know.
Guys,
I don't
for
think we're going to be
now-
launching a breaking
I know.
platform.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like
To be clear.
the whole whatnot thing
We
was
are not.
amazing. It's just, a little.
I think Fanatics Live is going to really make the whole process easier. I think they're going to, on top of like what, what you get with like a whatnot or whatnot. I think you're going to have.
Yeah, I mean,
They're going to streamline the whole process of being able to kind of, you'll ship the hits that the people win, but all the other stuff, like how do you move that? And I
Right.
think that they'll give you a good pathway to being able to do that.
Actually,
I
Brad,
got another.
you get anyone good?
I don't know.
No influencer. I want to pull a 10.
I want to pull an influence.
Slaps
So,
from- Do you think, Brad, there's overprinting in the hobby?
Too
Like
much,
there's
that's
too much
pretty
product
cool.
being printed?
yeah, absolutely.
What's your?
I mean, the
you
base cards are just they have no value anymore.
Yeah.
Like any like base rookie, like just take the example.
Paper
of-
Bowman.
Paper Bowman's garbage. Any paper, anything really, or even like the Prism stuff, right? Like, how much was a Zion and Luka Doncic like base rookies at one point?
Yeah.
Like a PSA 10. I remember I was selling a PSA 10 Zion for like $600 to $1,000, and what's it
Mhm.
now?
I don't know.
Probably $100, under $100.
What
They just produce too much of that stuff.
What do you collect personally too? Like what's your go-to? Or are you just too busy in the weeds
So
and
I,
everything?
to be honest, I'm gonna not a great story, but I just kind of took a leave from collecting. I just had to kind of determine whether if like I want to be a collector or I want to be a seller.
Yeah.
So I kind of had that. I have 2 cards in my safe right now. I got a Michael Jordan rookie card, BGS 9, nothing crazy. At the peak of the market, it was super crazy.
Mhm.
And then I have for my son a Bryce Harper Bowman First auto.
It's cool.
BGS
Yeah.
9.
I see no problem in people wanting to just get in the hobby for just making money because there's
Like-
people that want a PC. I know. I saw someone on Twitter that wanted to collect Roman Quinn and Reese Hoskins Phillies.
Yeah, and that's
PC.
like super affordable.
Yeah.
You can get like Reese Hoskins autos, RP, like patch autos for like $15. Like
Mhm.
it's super cheap. But I think that like the days of where people are just doing it for like, let me just make money and just not care about the hobby. I think it's.
So I have a question, and it's a little more technical, but I love when I'm watching shows, a thing like this. I want to like hopefully learn a thing or two, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff that you have to teach people about how to run a card store well. Because I think I've been to a lot of card stores, and yours is just about one of the best run card stores.
Thank you.
So, walk us through for like briefly, like how have you guys set up the store so that you're able to not only sell product in the physical bricks and mortar, but also at shows and online, and so that you can like sort of manage it all. Can you tell us a little bit about the process? I know you a little bit about how you like set up your Shopify and how you like have gone about.
We're not using any big secrets there. It's just we use Shopify, which is an unbelievable e-commerce solution for any kind of retail store for sure. I have nothing to do with them, so I just pitch them for no reason. But they're pretty awesome. I mean, so we inventory everything that's $11 and up. So, I mean, generally it's only $15 and up. Anything that's under $15, we just put it in a $10 bargain bin, and anything lower just doesn't get inventoried. But we set up our walk-in experience where the first showcase you'll see is like Philly stuff. And then as you walk down the line, you go all the way down to the end of our display counter, has our super high-end new releases. And then every day or at the end of every week, we move it down one showcase. And by the time we get to the other side, it's either being moved to like a consignment or it's being moved to somewhere else just to free up space for new product. We want to have constant overflow.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, and then generally the same way. I mean,
and when you see inventory, you're actually like putting them into the Shopify, putting a barcode on every.
Yeah. So I mean, a customer comes in and sells me this for $100, and I pull out everything that is more than $10 or $15. It gets inventoried in our back end on a CSV file. We push it through to Shopify. We take scans of front and backs of the photos. It has an associated SKU number. If it's a slab, it already has a associated number to it. And then we price it and we put our cost association and we sticker it and we put it out.
Yeah, I mean, it might seem like straightforward, but I think like for a lot of stores, like
I don't think a lot,
very rare.
I don't think a lot of people do that.
I think most stores don't even, frankly, know what they've got. Right. They've got
I mean,
ton of cards, ton of singles, but very little visibility.
I mean, a year and a half ago, that was generally what I was doing. I had a great employee that worked for us, and he pushed to do this, right? So he made me like want to inventory everything, have a better understanding of like, okay, so I have this much value, and this is what we need to sell, and we could see our profits and daily profits.
So not a trivial effort, right? So like looking back on that, I'd love to know, like, now that you hopefully you've had enough time for it to kind of like the whole process to kind of settle in. Was the juice worth the squeeze? Like, is the effort to do all that? Like,
I think if you want to run a proper business, I think you have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't see why like anyone should just go buy a collection and put a price sticker, those guns, the price guns, and just put it on your showcase. How do you know how much money you had into that card? Mm-hmm. You'll never know. You're going to forget. You're not going to remember everything.
Yep.
Right. I think if you want to run a successful business and see growth, and business is not just about like, hey, I made money on this card. It's also about what is your company valued at? Like, what is your worth? Can you get capital funding? Can you do stuff like that so that you can do bigger and better things? And that's super important.
Do you use your inventory to ever like, I don't know, because you have it all inventoried, right? Are you able to actually use that for whatever?
Funding and stuff?
Yeah, for funding, insurance, whatnot.
Shopify is amazing. I mean, they offer us funding just based on our sales. They take out percentages on daily sales for repayment. So that's I'm telling you, Shopify is amazing.
And you use it on the shows too, right? So somebody goes and buys a card at the show.
Yeah, I mean, you've
got the barcoding. You're basically like checking them out right
through
the Shopify
We're the only people at shows that is like a little bit of a pain in the ass. Like everyone's like, all right, I want to go to the next table. I'm like, can you give me a minute? I just got to scan this out, right? Like, unfortunately, we have to take it out of inventory because we've had scenarios where we sell at a show, we don't take it out, we go back to the store, somebody ordered it online and it doesn't exist.
Yep.
And then we gotta.
I think that's wicked cool because I'm sure that happens for everybody else. Like if you're trying to sell on eBay and you bring that same card to a show, like you're potentially opening a quagmire.
We have these point of sale like little like devices that we can bring with us. Mm-hmm. Granted, a lot of these places the internet is kind of pretty poor, so it doesn't always work, but it does work offline. But we could run into some issues. But it was pretty reassuring and a pat on my back that like I made a good decision by using Shopify. I went and took a huge store. I mean, it's huge to me. Allbirds, the shoe store. You guys
Yeah.
heard of that?
Mhm.
So they're using the same thing. They're using
Yeah.
the same thing when I bought shoes at like it's a big retailer, you know? I think
Why did you pick Shopify over all the other like Square or some of the other options?
I just thought Shopify was affordable. Like you have like a free solution that you can use.
Mhm.
And then they have like a good point of sale that you can use your own devices. And this is all phone apps and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to use.
You got to get Shopify to sponsor this podcast.
We just set up a Collect Shopify store
Yeah,
too,
we did.
so we're
It's
a big
worth
fan.
it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
worth
Get
I
your-
saw
get
that.
your
Yeah, it looks
Collects
really
and
good.
Car Dealer Pro
And it's
swag.
really, user friendly. So
Yeah.
to import and do all that type of stuff. And Fred, right, Car Dealer Pro,
Yeah.
like he knew about it and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's one of our like default options in
Yeah.
Car Dealer Pros to export to Shopify.
Brad,
So-
last question here on Car John. We appreciate you being on. Where do you see the hobby a year from now?
I don't know. It seems to be like the biggest question, right? Like, so I think what we're doing right now, I think we'll survive, right? Constant flow and cash flow, positive cash flow in a business. I think any business will survive like that. These breakers and these people that want to get involved and be flippers and stuff, a little scared with that. I don't know where that's going to go. There's a lot of platforms that's available for people to break. You could go on Whatnot and have a box for $300. You're selling spots for $2. You're losing money. So
Mhm.
it's not everyone can be a breaker. You have to be more, established. So I think the wax is going to be available. I'm a little scared because Fanatics, I know that they're offering a lot of product to the breakers. They're really trying to push that. So that kind of scares me how much production is going to happen. But I mean, hopefully they're going to be able to partner up and team up with Tops and bring back some older product. Really excited to see what that's going to do. But I'm more excited than scared for sure,
Cool.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Brad, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We actually, your shop was the first time we were on
The news.
local TV.
Yeah.
We used Santiago Sports 2 at
Yeah.
5:30 in the morning. So we appreciate it.
And us
You.
too.
Yeah.
I was on too.
Yeah. So Brad, thank you so much. He's Brad Kwinter, from owner of Santiago Sports 2 in Collinswood, New Jersey. People want to go to the shop. Where are you located? How do they follow you on social?
So we're in Collinswood, New Jersey on Haddon Ave, right on the main drag. Super, super nice area. Good restaurants too. So don't just come for us, come for everything. Social, we're Santiago_sports2 on Instagram. Check out our website, www.santiagosports2.com. Everything in store is able to be purchased online as well. Come check us out.
Awesome. Brad, thank you so much. Ted, you're the
Thanks,
man.
guys.
Yeah.
This is another episode of Car John, powered by Collects and Car Dealer Pro.